What is up, everybody? It's me, ZRDV, back here for another Best Books of the Week here, joined by Geekeasy and Eric Breen. What's going on, guys?
Not much.
How's your knee?
It's still there.
Well, I'd hope so. If it wasn't there, you'd have a lot more problems.
Yes, but just had to do a little driving today, and that always helps when
Aggravates, yeah. Soon you're in a lung position, and having the move, extend.
left knee replacement, then working the clutch to drive around all day is just it always makes it fun.
Yep. So I have 9 books this week, plus a couple back issues. Technically 8 new books, because one of them's just a reprint in color. All right, and I'm not sure when Zach will be joining us or anybody else in the chat, for that matter. Seems like nobody's watching. Like, oh no. So, what a better way to do it than just to jump right into it, I guess.
Well, they can watch it later.
They will, hopefully. All righty, it shows we got 3 people watching. I'm one of them, so there's 2 other people.
Well, there's one I'm watching it on my phone too. So I was number 1 for liking. So, woohoo! We're watching ourselves.
Yay! All right. So, let's see. So number 9 for me this week is actually Walking Dead Deluxe issue 110. Ezekiel versus Michonne in this issue.
I actually just broke out my compendium number 1 the other day. I'm good distance in.
Yeah, very fun series. I'm just enjoying it, just rereading it again in the same color and just noticing the differences. A lot of things more popping here. Sometimes with the art. That's the problem with black and white stuff. Art is sometimes the art just kind of blends in. I think it's a little muddled. But we have Negan and then Jesus. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Getting into my other books this week. I'm here doing dishes with this on in the background. Cool. And Brian's got sports on the background. Basketball.
I hate sports.
Me too. Number 8 for me this week. Just wasn't a fan of it. We're 6 issues in, and the villains are just doing villain stuff, and the heroes are just infighting. And we lose a hero, and a hero commits murder. Shoe's got to drop by next issue. Otherwise, I'm dropping this title. And here's the thing. When characters die, they don't necessarily come back, or sometimes they do. Alfred definitely has not come back, which makes me worried about when you kill off a fan favorite character, especially in the JSA. I guess I should put a spoilers on here.
There's 2 people who haven't come back yet, Uncle Ben and Alfred. And
Uncle Ben's back.
He is?
Well, he's in Ultimate Universe.
No, I mean in main universe. The only one wasn't when Stacy wasn't coming back either, but I've heard that she's coming back. So
I didn't hear you over Eric coughing over you.
I said Gwen Stacy was the 3rd one, and I heard, but they're bringing her back.
Maybe. That's. I'm not gonna talk about that. It's stupid. But I mean, like, there's no continuity between anything right now, so nothing really matters. Those stakes. So if somebody dies, you shouldn't really worry about it because they'll be back in another book. There's nothing to do with this one, so there's no stakes to it. Definitely no stakes to it all.
So did you hear what they're going to do in the new Spider-Man book, the new Amazing Spider-Man?
Well, I know that Mary Jane is Venom now.
Well, no, but in Spider-Man, they're going to concentrate on Peter Parker in the 7th grade.
Wow.
Yeah. Why would anybody read a Marvel comic at this point? If it's not Ultimate Spider-Man, why would anybody read?
Well, I'll get to my other Marvel book that I'm enjoying. And I'll explain to you why I like that one too as well. But yeah, as far as majority of their flagship titles suck because they have people who don't know the character or people who just despise the character and want to just either by editorials commands, or they just don't like the character at all.
Look, it's like I said, I left a comment on Wes's video today. They are going to destroy every fan favorite character, whether it's the X-Men or Spider-Man, until their fan base accepts Carol Danvers and Kamala Khan as the flagship characters of Marvel. It really is that simple.
Yeah, but giving it to JSA, very Wildcat centric story with this. We got Khalid, and then this is basically 2 months ago. It says here there's Wildcats basically pulling the whole thing with like Captain America did to Tony Stark. Without all that stuff, do you even know how to fight, how to defend yourself? And they kind of get in an argument a little bit, but leads on here where they're basically now they're back in limbo, right by the Tower of Fate. Under attack, Khalid's basically panicking. Ted gives a speech, and of course he puts the helmet back on. Everything's working right, and and then the villains show up, the back behind them. So Ted's like, "Don't worry, I got this. I'll protect you. You focus on keeping your, protecting everybody. You can do it." Meanwhile, Obsidian, or the fake Obsidian, takes some of the Rex Tyler, and I believe it's is it Rex in there too? I can't remember. No, actually, Rex wasn't with this. This was Liberty Jesse Quick, aka Liberty Bells. She decided to basically, I guess the reason she has the Flash costume because she's now in retcon that she's now connected to Speed Force. When Wally was gone, apparently, this is what I'm reading. It's up because I didn't really get that far in JSA yet. But when Wally was gone for the main universe, she was kind of like the taking over as a Flash a little bit, or at least connected to the Speed Force, one of the Flashes. Yolanda ends up basically killing someone in this, which really pissed me off. I was like, really, you're gonna have a hero kill? It's like, and then of course, Jade tries to stop her along with help with Sands, and well, she ends up killing the guy. Really murdering him. Meanwhile, Wildcat's getting his ass kicked as he's trying to it almost seems like he's getting his the upper hand of the villains. Only for him to get for basically Tower Fake is destroyed, and Wildcat ends up being stabbed in the back, and then he's left there laying there. And this is what I didn't like. The dude was so able to come over there and just pull the helmet off. Like, there's no counter attack for that. I don't know if there ever was with Naboo was in his possession, but I mean, they feel like there should be some kind of countermeasure against that. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of that stuff. I mean, it just seems like easy, like plot armor storytelling. But yeah, and then of course everybody has a falling out, and Wildcat's dead. Like I said, this is 6 issues in, and this has been nothing but them getting their asses kicked and losing, and then people fighting, and just I guess next issue is going to be a funeral. We've seen this pose before, people carrying bodies in like this, and oh look, Fire and Ice is coming back! Yay! No one cares. When they're small, they'll do a Drake show. So, I don't know. I'm sure you guys probably liked it more than I did. I'm just at the point where I'm like, why am I spending money on this? I'm not enjoying it. So, hopefully it does get better. I mean, I like when heroes are winning, not when they're constantly losing. There's got to be a tipping point where it swings back the way. All right. Number 7 is the Scorched. We are introduced to a new character. Well, not a new character. This character originally appeared in Spawn 29 back in the day. Reaper has basically appeared, and he basically had lost his memories. Now he's got his memories back, and he basically is now remembers everything about his brother, his life working with the Hellspawns, and he's been having these plagued by these visions of basically the world being destroyed. This is Stephen Fizzagolia doing the art on this, with John Layman doing the writing. It's only $2.99 for this book. Meanwhile, one of the teammates, Overkill, who's like a cyborg, was ruined in the last mission, and pretty much everybody got their powers back now finally, but everyone's now like struggling because now they have their powers back because they don't have their lives. They have no chance of ever going back to normal, being human, because now they're hell spawns. Mark Rosen, who is basically shares a consciousness or part of it, his body, his soul is merged with John of York, medieval, and he's warned by a Redeemer, who a former angel, who's on the team, says, "Don't put that helmet on. You put that helmet on, you're most likely you're never going to come back to being Mark again." Yeah. So of course he does what he wants to do. He gives it a temptation, puts the helmet back on, and Redeemer and medieval get in a fight, but just before that, Redeemer pretty much went around. He's kind of pissed off because everybody's all mopey now. He tells Haunt, basically, he's the guy who basically shares the spirit of his dead brother, who's a priest. When they merge together, they could create like a ghost looking, like almost like an ectoplasm, like a Spider-Man thing, a symbiote. And he tells them to go get some rest. They get in an argument. Of course, we see here with the main girl, she spawned, who's basically Jessica, who's pissed because she can no longer go see her daughter anymore because now she's damned once again, serving hell. And like I said, Redeemer and medieval get in a fight, and at the end, Reaper shows up and says, like, tells medieval to kill Redeemer because he says Redeemer is responsible for the end of the world. So we'll kind of left on a cliffhanger. Yep. That is my number 7. Number 6 for this week. And I don't know if you got this or not, but I picked this up yesterday. Breen?
I didn't.
This was a new one. It's a new book, 32 pages. It's Ian Flynn doing the writing on here, with Stephen Butler and Dan DiCarlo and a few others. Stephen Butler and Lily Blair's wife are basically are teaming up again with the art. Some of the stories, the kids, Archie and his friends, they play Minecraft in this, and Reggie tries to take over. And basically he's extorting for money, but with the help of Dilton, they pretty much put him into like Minecraft jail. And then we get a new girl shows up, Matilda, and Reggie and Archie kind of fight over her, and at the end, Jughead's like, because he says like, "Oh, aren't you mad he lost?" He's like, the game, they're playing the game, whoever gets highest score, and Archie's like, "Dude, I let him win." Like, why? Because that's Moose's favorite cousin. So Moose is gonna go kick Reggie's ass. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if a lot of these look modern. I mean, I'm sure they're probably all new issues or stories. It says level up Archie and the gang as they take on the video games and enter the digital world in a brand new story this time. So maybe the rest of them are just kind of older ones. Aren't they repackaged? Is that usually, I'm assuming that's what it is. I don't really lead all this all the time. I think you do, Brain. Don't you pick these up?
Nah, I've been disappointed with the last 2 or 3, so I'll get the horror related ones.
Are you reading the ones who's writing them? Dan Parent or Ian Flynn?
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's enough good stuff. Jesus fuck.
Seriously?
Sorry.
Tourette's boy? It's like
ridiculous.
Well, turn the sports off since you don't like it. But I don't know. I've been liking it. I haven't seen anything woke or anything like that in there. Stupid nonsense. Characters written on a character. It's just been like this kind of family friendly, tongue in cheek humor, like Archie's always is. So, yeah, this one is a variant cover. This is a Dan DiCarlo cover. but it is $5. So, yeah. All right, number 5 for tonight. Number 5 for tonight is gonna be Hyde Street. I admit I did not read the Devour or whatever like one shot. It didn't intrigue me the character, so I just kind of like left it a chance. I read this. We get an origin story about her, written by Jeff Johns. With Ivan Reyes doing some of the, I guess. Well, actually, they're the creator. Ivan Reyes worked on it first, I guess. But this is actually Francis Portela doing the art on this, with Brad Anderson doing the coloring and Robert Lay is the letter. But Ivan Ray, cover A, which is this one, is done by Ivan Reyes. Yeah. We get to learn more about her and how she became to living on the Hyde Street, everything, and then basically Mr. X-Ray is offering to do a team up with her, and she kind of like turns him down. And we learn a little bit more about Pranky, about just so I'm not going to really go into much more about that, but decent story. I would recommend checking it out. Number 4 is Moon Knight. I did not know what to expect of this because I saw Deadpool in the cover and I was like, oh, great. I don't want Deadpool on here. But in this story, in order to go after the actual, and draw Hank Pym out of hiding, Moon Knight gets an idea from something that 8-Ball said about, too bad we're not villains. We can't just go in there and harass people in order to draw them out. So that's what they do. They dress up as soldiers, as dresses up as Deadpool, and then they have, I forgot what the other girl's name is. We dress up as the Chalk, and then the Pocket is Hunter's Moon, and they go in there, basically go after Nadia. Well, not what's her character name? Is it? It's not. Is it Nadia? Nadia Van Dyne, who's as I've been told, is actually the daughter of Hank Pym's with his first wife, and then she ends up taking Janet's last name out of spite or feminist reason. I don't care. Either way, they decide to go after her, and they know basically it's like if we go after her, Hank Pym might come out and actually go to protect her, which he ends up actually doing eventually. And shows up with his aunts, and Hank Pym looks really, really old. And the last time I knew anything about Hank Pym is that he died and then somehow came back, and he was like, it was Ultron wearing his skin or something like that. So apparently he, yeah. Oh man, it's trying to keep up with Marvel sometimes with all the stupid retcons. But at first he wasn't gonna like help him out, but then because Greer still holds a place in his heart, apparently, be able to talk to him, and he agrees to help them find a cure, basically, for this glitter drug that this Asgardian thug has been putting out on the New York streets of New York City, pretty much. And so Hank's gonna help him out, and I thought it was kind of funny. There's some cute, some awesome clips in here too. Like one of them is like where Moon Knight was talking about. He's like, "Dude, you know how long it took me to find you? I was yelling down at random ants just to see if you'd reply back, and people were thinking I was crazier than normal." It's like I was kind of humiliated, but so I mean they kind of have a bonding at the end here too. So I'm not curious what's going to go as far as Hank Pym, how long he's going to be in there, but and he's like, they have a bonding moment because Hank hasn't seen his son that's with Greer. That's like he stayed his way because he feels he's recluse. He feels that he's a burden to everybody. He doesn't want to do anybody. He just causes issues, problems. Woe is me. And Mark says pretty much, dude, I have a daughter, that I'm not allowed to see. if you need someone to talk to me, but cut out the whiny bullshit, and deal with your problems, But been liking that. Teen Titans Go #2 came out this week. That's my number 3 this week. Just fun. And it's pretty much Cyborg's missing. So Robin is pretty much put him in this room, put a mirror in there, and of course Starfire thinks it's actually a two-way mirror thing or something like that, but it's not just a mirror. And they're trying to find out where Beast Boy is, or not Beast Boy, but Cyborg. Cyborg went missing, and so they all take turns telling stories. First, the Starfire telling about how they're having movie night, and they're watching Rashomon. I guess it's a classic movie, martial arts movie or black and white samurai. And they take turns about what happens, and we get Atrocitus shows up, and then we get Dexter, and Dexter literally can't talk because he just says meow. Again, fights, and then Raven says how she doesn't like cats. Then he shows up, and he hacks up a hairball. And I laugh because Eric told me the other night about his cat hacking up hairballs. And so Starfire is like, I'll fight Atrocious. You fight the cat. And she's like, I don't want to fight the cat. The cat's gross. I'm like, that's in Starfire's version. That's what happens. And so they basically take turns. We get Beast Boys next, and then we get Ravens. It turns out Beast Boys, actually, his version of the story was him just having a dream. And they learn basically that Cyborg ended up going basically from Raven's point of view, she's like, oh, he's going to go to the Justice League because the mother box, is getting close or someone's tampering in that, so it's very important. So he goes to the Justice League. He's like, hey, here he says, if I'm not back in time for a snack meeting, tell the others not to worry. And Raven's like, why didn't you tell me? He's like, well, you should have asked me first. Like, what do you know? Instead of doing all this, And after that, they have a little pep talk. And if you like the stuff we're doing on Monday nights, this is pretty much the same humor. Robin has a new 81-step test they should do, test in order to become famous heroes. So they all start doing stuff and all working out and doing the stuff, the taglines. It's pretty hilarious. And like I said, this is our family friendly, safe for younger children. And it is still $2.99 for these. The next one is not safe for children, and that is Pop Kill. Pop Kill by Jimmy Palmiotti and I forget what the guy's first name, Dave Johnson. And if you've not picked this up, this is a good book. This is $7.99. This is $6.99. This is through Mad Cave, and literally, so the guy we left off there with basically this guy is hired by one of the two warring brothers. Pretty much think of like Coke and Pepsi if they're brothers and they're warring and they want to kill each other or sabotage your business. He's been working for one of the brothers to stop his other brother from succeeding and with making a soda that never loses its fizz. And she's the lead scientist, so he basically seduces her. He's gonna take, and he eventually comes clean. And what happens is basically, her apartment was bugged by her employer, thinks that she's defecting, and basically wants to kill them both. So there's a lot of humor in this, and at the end, they end up basically being rescued by a helicopter, going back to his apartment, or not his apartment got destroyed, so they have to go to his little cabin he has. And she's like, oh, he's like, it's a beautiful here. What's your cabin like? He's like, it's just a little shack, nothing special, really. And she's like, oh, fuck off, because it's like a nice, fancy, like a little dojo. And basically, they bond a little bit more. And she sleeps on the bed. He ends up going on the couch, and he gets flashbacks of what happened to him before he we learn that he kind of isn't working for the brother, as we were led to believe. He is actually working for a third company, another soda company, to get the information from this girl. So, because he's a freelancer, he works for the highest bidder, and also he doesn't like this guy, the guy he's originally working for, because the soda guy, because he had basically, they had no idea at the time, but basically had slept with the guy's mistress. This guy found out, and prove what's a sick little bitch is. He ends up throwing her into the soda machine and makes her drown. It makes him watch, as a reminder that, I own you. It's like, the girl means nothing to me, and he's, just. So we already see him just why he doesn't care for the either one of the Soda brothers. And he wakes up alone because that's what always happens whenever you tell a girl, it's like your employer tries to kill you. She goes back to her employer, try to straighten things out, say I'm not defecting or whatever. And it ends up, basically with the brother, two brothers looking across the building. I love this. He's like, what is he looking at? And then you see he's like, mother like me best, asshole. So the guy in the white is the brother that he was that the girl works for. The guy on the left is actually the brother that the dude is working for. And and so it's gonna turn out that they're probably gonna end up killing the girl. Or at least trying to. Fun series, man. Action packed, humor, kind of James Bondish type. If you like spy stuff, this is it. All right. And my last issue for this week is our new issues. First issue of 1 of 3. This was $6.99. Almost didn't get it. This is Charles Soule's, Steve McNiven's Cold Day in Hell. Daredevil series, where Daredevil is old man Daredevil, does not have his powers. And here's Zach.
Hello.
Zach, I'm spoiling things, so if you've not seen this,
Not seen what?
I read this.
I didn't get that one.
Oh, you should have. Very fun book.
Hey, it's a 3-issue miniseries. I'll wait for the trade.
You say that now, but yeah.
Over under on, if you had over under on Zach saying Nazi within the first minute, you won.
Yeah.
Wait, what'd I say? I said it's a 3-issue miniseries. I'll wait for the trade.
You said I did not see it yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Doggone it. It was a setup. It was a trap. This is entrapment.
So I want to see that. So basically, Daredevil.
Now
is
you're
grave,
pulling out. Now you're being Admiral Akbar.
or a guy in Bangkok. All right. Hey. So we start off with Daredevil. He has his power. He's blind. He's working soup kitchen. He's talking to someone. We don't know who he is, and then we find out the grave is actually Wilson Fisk. So Wilson Fisk is dead in this universe. We don't know what happened. What we know is that something happened that led to basically like New York being destroyed for the most part. It's a really rundown area.
This isn't the Old Man Logan universe, is it?
I don't know if it is. It doesn't really say it is.
I'm gonna look it up.
But he gets mugged by these guys. Basically, take his money after he gets off the ferry. And while he's on the ferry, he's talking to some guys about like what happened, everything and stuff. It's like, yeah, what his thoughts are. And the guy doesn't realize that Matt is actually blind. And in anything, I'm getting kind of like the Boys vibes. The way New York is just destroyed. And we see here him basically being attacked, pushed on the stairs. And the guy is, basically going to take his money. Like, he's like, "Whoa, you guys, you come to my place, and I can't see you. I'm blind. If you want to go have free soup and all this stuff at my place, you can do that." So if the guy takes his cane, and he's like, we get to see him. He's like, "Well, I'm going to catch a cane. I know where it is." Senses it, and then he smacks him in the face because he doesn't have his powers. But then you see these kids, like running out of the subway. And they're not supposed to be. Well, parts of the subway are collapsed or not working, but somehow
kids, don't be on the subway.
explosion happens up, and you see this like it looks like green radioactive gas comes, and all of a sudden his powers return like full throttle. Like when Superman got his powers, like all of a sudden he could hear everything at once. He had to learn how to control it. Same with him. He's remembering his training with Stick, how to return it, focus on single thing, and he focuses on the blood, and he realizes, okay, there's someone trapped down there, or he helps this lady, and then he goes down into after pulling people for safety, he runs through and he goes in on the subway, and we see old man Captain America holding up the collapsed roof. He's trying to, and so Daredevil.
This is Old Man Logan then, because Cap was dead, I think.
Yeah, I think that he's all full. He's got the rods going through his legs and everything.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That's gruesome.
And Daredevil, they instantly recognize one another, and Matt grabs the girl and gets her out of there, and he says, "Go, don't worry." It's like, he says like, right now, I can't hold this, He says, as you listen, he says there was a shipment, military, moving chemicals from one base to another, old stuff, part of a plan to get ahead of the DBs. We're not sure what DBs are. It's DEEBEES. It's a new warrior project. It says it wouldn't believe how high it goes, how deep, how far back. And
Maybe
then,
it might be a subdivision of D nuts.
there you go. It's a diabetes program. You should watch out for that. We have, so basically as he's going there, because remember he can hear people's heartbeat, and I was like, oh, we're going back to Born Again. Foggy. No. Big spoiler if you haven't seen the show yet. But he gets out, and you see him telling the guys. The one guy's holding the Captain America. He's like, oh, I wonder how much I can get for scrap for this. It's a real deal. I'm like, it's vibranium. If you're going to try and sell it, hold on to that. Things are worth more than that. And you get to see him just being old school Daredevil, jumping up and chasing after them. They notice the old guy is going like, what the heck? As they go through, the guy's knocking the door. He's like, hey, man, we got Captain America's shield. We're not sure who this is. I want to say it might be Bullseye. But the guy is like stabbing himself because he's at the shake. So he's stabbing his hands, just to keep his hands from basically getting, stabilize him. It's like all messed up. And, they don't really say who he is, but we see Matt going to his closet, grabbing his costume, putting it, he's gonna put it back on. Meanwhile, we see someone old guy is like strapped to the wall with no limbs. It's Frank Castle. He's been kept alive by this guy. And he says, oh, you thought Captain America's come save you? They don't give a shit about you. You're mine. At the end of this, I told you before, Ronnie, it's Steve McNiven. At the end of this, we have Daredevil leaping through the city again.
Steve McNiven draws senior citizens really well.
Yeah, like I said, I was surprised. There's even hey, look, if you even want to read something from Nick Lowe, I recommend you just ignore that bullshit because Nick Lowe can go suck a dick. Yeah. Honestly, very good book. I like this. This was my number one book of the week. And then I'll quickly show up my back issues, and you guys can go. Whoever wants to go next. Cap shouldn't make it to old age either. Why is that, Rhaegar? You hate people are old?
Cap shouldn't grow old. He has the super soldier serum.
Cap should. Well, he wasn't as old as some of the other ones. He's slow aging, probably. And then
that's it. He would grow old eventually, but he's like he doesn't age at the same rate.
We don't know how the serum works and how long before it breaks down in his body. So, anyway, Zach, you're gonna like this.
I'll be the judge. Oh yeah, that's great.
I like that. I'll be the judge of that. Getting out there. Was this sitting in my shop? I was like, dude, Marvel Chillers, I do not have this one. So I figured I'd grab it. And I was going through the box. I was like, oh shit, here's number 4. Yeah.
Very
And
cool. Very cool.
and as I went again, I was going through the box again. I found some more cool stuff, like issue 5. I already own issue 6. It's just Engeltein's been keeping it company because he hasn't shipped it out. There's my books in the boxes. Then the final issue I got, back issue I got, was issue 400. So, yeah. I've never seen her in thigh-high boots like that before. So,
I don't think I've ever seen that either. That's interesting.
yeah. So, yep, and that's it for my back issues.
I got a pair like that, but they're black.
Why do you gotta ruin things for people?
Why not?
I had Supergirl, and now I see Jeff. And I'm like, no. And I see Jeff in the Power Girl uniform with the boo window.
And I got a big window up there too, man.
Come on. Come on, Jeff.
Hey, at least it's up there instead of down there. Okay.
Man.
Who's going next? Well, I go Hurl.
I gotta go. No, I gotta go Hurl.
Jeff, you want to go next?
Sure. All right. I have 9 with a couple of back issues and something that came in. So these are pretty much in order. There's one of them, the 9th one I haven't read yet because I didn't realize it came out. I missed it, so I picked it up right before my job interview today, so I didn't get to read it. But so number 9, Batgirl. I'm not even sure I finished that one just because at this point I don't like it, but I just want to get the rest of it.
Fair.
I'm got that little what do you call it, the completist thing.
Yeah, my brother has that.
Which is the
perfectionist, completist, something like that.
Yeah, completist. That's more number 8. Pastime by Mad Cave. You didn't talk about this, so we'll go over this here real quick. It is basically it's Chicago 1988. I guess Breen, was that when they had the first night game at Wrigley's?
Yeah, that part of the story's accurate.
Okay.
And it did get rained out.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so that's this is set on that day, and you get these 2 dudes who are meeting in a bar, and one's an older black blind gentleman, and the other one is just an old white dude. And the old white dude is looking for some information on somebody in the past. And they're going back in the days of 1923, and it's the Barnstormer Leagues. I didn't realize there was such a thing, but I guess there was. And they're talking about like the best baseball player. It looks like there's some sort of a serial killer or maybe a vampire or something like that. You don't find out a whole hell of a lot in this one, but it sets everything up and it looks pretty creepy. It's pretty good. Art's pretty good. Nice little, good story going along. So I liked that one. Next is Let This One Be a Devil, number 2 by Dark Horse. It is obviously the second issue in this. It is 19. It switches back between early 1900s, like 1909 and 1735. It's something along the lines of a town, something along the lines of the Jersey Devil, because this takes place in Jersey. And there's a set of brothers. One of them is the athletic type, and the other one is the brainiac guy. And the brainiac guy is trying to investigate the story of the local legend of like the Jersey Devil, woman who had 13 kids, and the 13th one is this little monster, and it's haunting stuff and killing people. Not bad. And next, I wasn't sure I wanted to get this, but I'm glad that I did. It is the best of this series. I mean, universe so far. Absolute Green Lantern #1.
Really?
Yes.
Because I am also on the fence about that.
Have you read it?
No, I have not read it. No.
Okay. This is it's Al Ewing. So when Al Ewing is on, he's on.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Green Lantern? Yeah, that book.
I
sucked
like what
ass.
he did with the Immortal Hulk.
Okay.
And this is so we're setting in, and you've got Hal Jordan. He's walking down the street, and he's just kind of something wrong, and cops are trying to get him, and they shoot at him, and it doesn't work. And he's got something, and he's talking about who's it, Auburn Sir? Is that how you pronounce the name?
Yeah. Pretty messed up.
And he comes into a little tavern, and
After annihilating the cop by pulling his hand out, the cop disintegrated.
yeah, and so you've got the other 3 Green Lanterns there.
Well, they weren't Green Lanterns, but you had John Stewart and you had this newcomer, JoJo Mullen or something. I don't know what it was.
And then what's her name?
Yeah.
And they do mention Guy.
Oh, okay.
But the ship, this is Guy Gardner. This is Evan Sir's.
I've seen that in the previews.
So
Okay.
Amundsen came down to that. Yeah. Well, they're at
Okay.
And
Alright.
so you're still trying to figure out what's going on, because
Yeah.
he's slowly going along. But then it turns out that Hal Jordan there's something they keep saying, what's in your pocket? What's in your pocket? What's in your pocket? And he never pulls it out.
He does
That just-
in
that
the
just-
diner because they pull a shotgun. Guy pulls a shotgun on him,
Yeah. But
shoots him.
and if you look, you can see there's all this black stuff, and then at the end you have what's her name coming out as a Green Lantern. So what it looks like to me, and I'm not, Hal Jordan has possibly the black rings. Under the
Yes,
influence of
they
the
actually
black.
said in there when he got the Evan Sir, instead of giving him the Green Lantern ring, he got this curse, the black ring. Whatever he touches, it seeps in and kills it.
Yeah.
Where the other girl, the DEI hire, is now the new Green Lantern.
Yeah, it's the main Green Lantern.
We all knew what was going there.
But yeah, I mean, especially since she was on the cover as a Green Lantern.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure, considering how I feel about these absolutes. I hated the Wonder Woman. Batman's okay. Superman, I'll get to in a second. The Flash was my second favorite, and I didn't even read.
Martian Manhunter was trippy.
Yeah, that cover, I said nope, not going to do it, and I've never been a fan of his. So this is the best so far,
Oh, okay.
Really?
in my own humble opinion. Take that for whatever.
Yeah, I was listening to a few people's opinions on it. It sounds like they were going more for like a horror-ish vibe.
Cosmic horror, yeah.
I mean, it is Al Ewing. I mean, that's his.
I may give it a try. I was at my limit this week, but I may read it or give it a try.
You see, I thought it was going to be John Stewart's going to be the main character, where he gets Abin Sur's ring and do that. Instead, John doesn't get a ring whatsoever. This girl.
I mean, I knew it wasn't going to be Hal Jordan because
But I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on this Absolute Universe because we have Barry Allen's supposedly dead. Wally West can't control his powers, and Hal Jordan's a villain. The only one that's really been good has actually been Absolute Superman.
And Rhaegar, I like aliens as long as they're here legally. Okay, thank you.
Wow.
Let's see how he did that. I did that.
No, he does. No, he meant to say Geekeasy hates Martin. Yeah, I didn't like that show either.
Yeah. Of course, Tisha Campbell, I think her name is. She's hot. But
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the girlfriend. Great.
not Pam, but the other one. Okay, next is, speaking of Absolute Superman, I actually liked this issue because you get to see how he got here and what he's dealing with, and so you get kind of a quick.
Did they show him walking across the border?
I think he actually flew over it when he was coming from space. So, but I like how they did that, and the whole. I like what they're doing with the Kents and all that stuff. This one's kind of growing on me, so I'm glad that I kept up with it. I am definitely gonna get the next one.
I just realized I just praised Jason Aaron as being the best out of the Absolute so far. No.
Next is Moon Knight. We've already gone over that, and I agree with pretty much everything you said. I do like the fact that the whole pool party thing, in the name of their group, is pool party, and they all. At first, I was sitting there saying, why do they have all why do they pocket when it's a pool? Then I realized, okay, they meant the game pool as opposed.
Well, Zach and I were kind of worried it was going to be like the actual real Deadpool.
No, don't lump me in there with you. You said Deadpool. I said it was somebody else, probably.
Yeah, but you didn't know.
I didn't think it was Deadpool.
Like I said, we're just saying like the worst comic could be would be Deadpool in there.
That's right, Justin. That's right. Next is, and this is connecting to your book, RDB.
You got Spawn?
Black Ritual. Some of the stuff in there is answered in here. Because
I heard that she's not a new character. Apparently, she's been around in the Spawn series before.
Yeah, she used to be.
She's Spawn.
She's Spawn, from what I understand.
She was the first one.
Because I had to look this up. But they're just setting up. She's coming back into town, into Manhattan, and the art in here is just fantastic. That's one good thing about this stuff is they always have some really good.
Who's the art in that one? Who's the artist in that one?
Nat Jones.
Okay.
And Thomas Healy is the writer. And so, you've got, I guess this is the dude you were talking about earlier.
I was talking about Eddie Frank, who was also known as Reaper.
I think it was Reaper.
He was originally was Redeemer. And then he became Reaper. And then they had Overt.
No, this is the Puritan. Okay, the Puritan. I don't know who that is.
Okay. Oh, all right. He's probably got
But now she's, the whole thing, and then we find that she's developing powers that she didn't have before. She can see the past, present, future, and then she finds out that she's going to when she's going to die and how.
I wonder if they'll be connected to what's going on in the one at the Scorch with Reaper being able to see the future.
I think they mentioned something about that, but I'm not quite. I'll have to reread it.
Honestly, they're all in the same universe, so that's what's nice about that. The Spawn universe is they do cross over, and then that was $2.99 as well, wasn't it, for that book?
$3.99.
No,
she was on my wife and kids for the longest time. Rhaegar.
Was that where she went to with the Dame Wayans?
Yes, and she also did I think another show after that. I think, but that woman
she was a good actress. They said it's just that way she wasn't like everywhere, after that though. So like where some actresses you see them pop up everywhere, mobile shows.
But, and my number one that I've read, I love this series. I think it's probably the best of.
I'm really intrigued about Pranky now more.
Yeah.
So. Darn you, Jeff Johns. Got me so invested in this book now.
Yeah.
This is a book I was just going to pass up. I was like, watch it. But I'm like, Oh, it is just one thread after another thread. You keep going, and you get, and it's like more and more mystery.
And then, okay, so that's all the stuff that I've read this week. Today, I realized, or yesterday, I think it was, that I realized that there was a book that I didn't get. So I stopped by and picked it up at Bosco's on my comic shop on my way to my job interview. Then I realized that Pop Kill, you two came out. So I just, while you were talking, I called them and had them pull it in there. But Plague House.
Oh, it sounds great.
I haven't. When I got back home, like 4:00 something my time, and this thing starts at 5, so I didn't really have the chance. And then I still have this from last time, that because I finally got number 5 in, read it, so I still need to read this. Then I got one in stock trade. Oh no, it wasn't in stock trade. It was Amazon, because I don't know if you remember, I got that John Stable.
Next,
and there's a whole big thing about. I don't know if I told you about all that stuff. The problem I had with it, but I wound up getting a refund on it. But then I still got the John Stable.
Dude, it happened to be on eBay. I ordered like a Man of Steel by John Byrne, and it's been like about a week or two past what they originally said it was gonna be. So then I'm like, I messaged them, like immediately they sent my money back, and then the very next day the book shows up. I was like, cool.
so I had a gift card. They said we could either put it in your account or give it a gift card. I said, okay, gift card. So I went and looked in, and I didn't know at the time. I didn't know whether I was going to like John Stable, so I didn't want to get book 2 because I didn't know whether I was going to like it or not. So I ordered this.
Nice.
It's a paperback.
Let's see.
But it's the same amount of pages and everything, and it's not as thick as you can sort of see them sitting right back there behind me.
I don't really like the hardcovers because they have the slip covers, and the slip covers always rip.
Yeah, I always take them off when I read them. But so that I have this, and it wound up costing me 10 cents because it was 10 cents more than what the gift certificate was for. So this whole thing cost me 10 cents. So I've got 1, 2, 3 Golden Age hardback, and then that. And that is it. So after I get done with this, I'm gonna go in and read whatever that was.
All right, Zach.
Mr. Zach, that's my father. No, not really.
All right. Zach E.
No, I hate that.
Zachariah.
We're not doing that. Nope, we're just gonna do Zach. Just regular Zach. That's all we need.
We can just call you Levi or Pants.
Not Efron. Efron's okay.
From Arizona.
Efron's okay now.
What about Dungaree or Arizona?
I don't know. I don't get either of those references.
I thought we're naming like jeans brands.
I thought we were naming Zach's. Zachary.
Well, Levi's is
Zachary Levi. It's not Zachary Binks, by the way. It's Thackeray. In the movie, it's Thackeray, not Zachary. So that movie not only has made my name a living hell, it's not even the right name. It's identity fraud.
Rager says, actually, Zach's father is Baron von Strucker.
If only my dad was a baron, I'd have a private plane. Wouldn't that be great? But this book right off the bat, this is not for me. I picked this one up for my brother because he's been enjoying it. So this is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Naruto crossover. This is issue number 3. My brother's. I got the first 2 ones for his birthday, and he wants to continue it. So I'm picking this up for him. So
have you read it at all?
I'm not into the Turtles or Naruto, so. I have not read that. Now, if they did like One Piece and G.I. Joe, yeah, I'd be all over that.
You're not a Turtles? Man, dude. I
also got something really fun. We're going to wait and see in a few years if it's worth anything. It probably won't be. But I did get All New Venom number 5.
Oh, my gosh. You just want to flip it.
I do want to flip it, actually. Because if Mary Jane ends up being Venom in the MCU or whatever, I want to have this and turn around and sell it and make money. That would be hilarious. So this was, it was $5. So it wasn't bad. All right, so getting into the books that I have read. Yeah. We have, first of all, Silent Missions, Beachhead. This is G.I. Joe, Real American Hero. This is a one-shot. Beachhead, Behind Enemy Lines. Art and story by Phil Hester. It's a pretty good little silent story. Didn't take a whole lot of time to go through. Basically, Beachhead crashes behind enemy lines. A helicopter filled with Cobra troopers. These two little kids, they save them. They're orphans. Cobra finds where they are. Beachhead kind of has to defend the orphans from them, and then G.I. Joe comes into the rescue. Pretty good little story, nice and simple. It's a one shot, so there's not going to be another one. I think there is another Silent Mission issue coming out in the near future, but this one was pretty good. If you like G.I. Joe, I recommend that one. And then that's going to bring us to the top three, because I didn't get a whole lot of other books for myself. The shop didn't have Marvel Rivals, the comic book, so I was like, I wasn't even really looking forward to it, so I just passed that up. So I got three other books here. First of all, we got Absolute Superman issue number 6. This was a great issue. I agree with Jeff. I think this was fantastic. A lot of this is focusing on Ma and Pa Kent in Kansas. So you see Clark actually, when he's in his little spaceship, you see him crashing down to Earth. Ma and Pa find him. They kind of watch over him while he recovers and heals up. He helps them on the farm. It's not a long enough period of time to where they like adopt him as their son, but it's over like maybe a week or two. So yeah, and then the peacemakers find out that he's there, and they come and take him away. Really cool villain reveal. Also, I like this. I like the mix up with the villains that they're doing. They're taking someone who is traditionally a Batman villain and making him a Superman villain. I kind of dig that, actually. So, yeah, this was a good issue. This one was really good. I really enjoyed Absolute Superman. It's one of the better Absolute books out there. And hi, Imperial Goddess, who is here for my face. Thank you. Then we get Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu, issue number 7. Sad news first. I think Alessandro Capuccio, the artist who's been on this, I think he is off the title as the main artist. I think they're going with another artist here on out, which is kind of sad. But if it's this artist, it's pretty good. This artist does a pretty good job. It's not as glossy as Capuccio's art was, but it did a good job, I thought. You got the pool party here, which actually is just the rest of the Moon Knight team just disguised as villains because of this genius idea they had. If they're trying to get Hank Pym's attention, why not just dress as villains and attack his daughter? I thought it was a pretty funny idea, especially coming from 8-Ball. And then it reminds us that 8-Ball is also a rocket propulsion specialist, which is weird because he looks like a dummy. But it is good. Overall, I think this was a really good issue. It harkens back to like when Hank Pym and Tigra had a relationship, and there's some, I guess, I don't know if you want to call it closure or something like that takes place here. Hank and Moon Knight have a neat little conversation. It's almost like a little mini West Coast Avengers reunion in a way. So overall, I really enjoyed this. Looking forward to seeing where this is going. My number one book of the week, though, I know RDD didn't like this, and he'll probably have questions. But it is JSA issue number 6. This was, I think, the best book of the week. This is Last Stand at the Alamo, except the Alamo is the Tower of Fate. There is a death. He probably spoiled who died.
Yes, he did.
He did? Okay. So Ted Grant, who, by the way, in Jeff Johns' run, they say at least once or twice, Ted Grant has 9 lives at any given point in time. So I don't think Ted Grant is really dead. The whole thing, the whole setup here is that somebody dies. The whole synopsis was somebody dies. And honestly, you could say that of several of the characters that were in this setup, like Hawkman, Hawkgirl, Wildcat, Dr. Fate. Any of those characters is primed to die and then be resurrected or reincarnated. I don't think Ted is gone for good. but it is still made for overall a very good action piece and set piece. The younger members of the team are starting to unravel a little bit. Jesse Quick is getting like really antagonistic with Our Man, which is weird because they're one of the most lovey-dovey married couples in DC Comics. So then she realizes something's up, and she said she didn't feel like the same person. So they're I think they're getting close to finding out Psycho Pirate's been playing tricks with them. Overall, really good. The art continues to be stellar. I love the artist on this book. He's becoming one of my favorites. Just really good. My one thing is I think it was a little too soon. I mean, it's only issue number 6, and I think if you wanted a death or a faux death or whatever, if you wanted it to have any kind of emotional punch, you probably should have spent more time on that character or got a few more issues in before you started to do that. We're only on issue number 6, and honestly, Ted Grant hadn't been featured all that much, which is probably another reason I think he's going to come back, maybe. But there just wasn't a lot of emotional pizzazz.
Had it been Khalid being killed off, would it have been more?
Maybe. I mean, Khalid was also fairly new, though, so I don't think they would kill off.
They're still because they wanted to steal the helmet, so the Preventer from taking the helmet back to kill him.
Yeah, I can see that. But
since it's so easy just to pull the helmet off.
Also, the Hawks weren't featured in this, so that's why I think they're going to come back, and there may be some Kid Eternity. Look, the Hawks had the new Kid Eternity. I bet you dollars to donuts within the next 3 issues, Kid Eternity shows up, touches Wildcat, and he comes back to life. I hope that doesn't happen because that means Jeff Lemire is really predictable. But if it does happen, I'll also.
Did you see? So basically, the preview for the next week's cover, I guess.
No, I have not.
It looks like it's gonna be a funeral. I'm like, oh, we're going back to the Goyer run, the funeral. I think it had.
Where it first opens up. Yeah, it could be. But overall, though, I'm still enjoying it. I'm still really digging it. I think it's great.
I just need the heroes to get a win. That's all. I'm getting tired of this.
Yeah. I don't care. It's also fun seeing, first of all, the scene where Ted Grant dies, I'm going to use air quotes for the time being, is one of the most Ted Grant things. He's taking on like 4 villains at once. That is a very Ted Grant thing to do. The way Jeff Lemire wrote him was perfect. It was really good writing for Wildcat.
If they permanently never brought him back?
They're going to bring him back.
But what if
nobody stays dead in comics? We're at the point now, Uncle Ben doesn't even stay dead in comics.
Alfred's dead.
No, not an absolute Batman, he's not.
Different universe.
Different universe.
I'm still counting it, though.
Main continuity.
Technicality, I'm still counting it.
Okay. Uncle Ben, and Alfred. The only 2 people.
Yep. Well, no, yeah. Hey, Batman's parents came back, too. All right. Anyway. I did get a trade this week. Brand new. Where did I find this? I think I found this at Books A Million. I've been wanting to read through this. This is Fantastic Four by Mark Waid and Mike Wieringo. Wieringo. That is a weird last name. But yes, this is the first trade. This is the Imaginauts. And this is one of the few runs that I haven't read anything from. So I'm going into this kind of blind. I have seen the art. Like I've seen this picture 1,000 times. But yeah, so I picked this up. I think it was like $12 at Books A Million. So really looking forward to it. I've kind of flipped through it a few times. The art looks decent. It kind of reminds me of when Mark Bagley was doing Ultimate Spider-Man a little bit. But, I mean, that's nothing terrible. So I'm going to go read through that. Because, I mean, we can hate the guy and trash on him all day, but Mark Waid does write good comics. Also picked up.
That wasn't his best work, unfortunately.
Really? Well,
kind of boring.
Well, compared to Hickman and John Byrne, they're all kind of like that. I mean, you can only peak so much. Did also pick up the 2 most recent issues, or volumes rather, of One Piece. So this is 107, and then I got issue 108. This is going on the Egghead Island arc, which is the most recent arc. If you're watching the anime, this covers where they're at. And then, at RDV's suggestion, because I do not always get trades or back issues, I decided to pull at random a trade from the library that you see behind me. So I'm just going to reach over here and probably over here.
And what Zach's talking about, I said, for these guys, if you only have like 3 or 4 books in here, you can still do a show and tell of something that we haven't seen on the channel here that you have got in the past year or a couple years.
Okay, here's one. We'll go with this one. I actually have
If it's Inhumans, I'm gonna laugh.
I do not have any Inhumans books, Rhaegar. I don't think I do.
You know why you don't? Because Palpatine won't allow it. He thinks
Palpatine won't let me. Exactly, that tyrant. Watch, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go seek an Inhumans only trade now. But no, I did pick this one. I haven't read this. I actually got this at Skip's suggestion a while back. This is when I was just getting into Ram D. This is The Savage Shores. It is a little synopsis on the back. It's 2 centuries after the first European ship sailed to the Malabar coast and made landfall at Calcutta. The East India Company seeks to secure its future along a lucrative silk route in the year 1766. And there's vampires, though, that get involved. So it's the East India Company and vampires. I might have that, actually, Rhaegar. I might have that. Let me see. We take a brief pause here. I thought I did, but I might be mistaken. No, I have the Donny Cates cosmic stuff. I don't think I have War of Kings. But on the off chance that I do, give me 2 seconds.
1, 2. Oh no! The raids are dropping.
Freddy's coming for you there, Zach.
Well, I thought I had it. No, I don't have War of Kings. I have New Warriors, but I don't have War of Kings. So
Warriors, come on, play.
Actually, I have New Warriors. I think has 3 omnibuses now. I have the first one. So I showed that one. It hadn't been too long. I know I showed that one. So, but yeah, that's the surprise pick from Zach's comic book library today. Is Ram V, and I don't even know the artist's name, unfortunately. Forward by Kieran Gillen.
No, one of these days, if he's surprised, he's like, Zach's pick from the wall is Black Panther. Like, what?
I don't have a Black Panther book.
Do you have a Power Man book?
Do I have I have a lot of books that feature Power Man, like he's part of the book.
But no Power Man, Luke Cage Power Man.
Not Power Man himself, no.
Shit.
Do I have Heroes for Hire?
No, it's okay if Danny other.
Wait, what's that?
It's okay if I have Danny Heroes for Hire.
No, for Danny, I mean, I have the whole Immortal Iron Fist Ed Brubaker collection. I have all that. So I've got my Danny. I've got Danny Rand locked in.
Oh, Danny boy.
No, I don't think I have any Black Panther or Power Man. I have some X-Men, so I know Storm and Bishop are in there. They're represented. They're covered. But yeah.
Nice. All righty then.
I'm done. That's it. Get my face out of here. You can't get that many ratings. Hi, Breen.
Hi, Zachy.
God, you too.
Hi, I'm RDV.
Number 5, JSA. I'm not as harsh in my take as Venkman, but it'd be nice if they did get where they were going at some point. But we'll see. Number 4, Hyde Street. I liked it, but I just don't like Miss Goodbody as much as the other characters in
you want
the
Frankenstein
series.
Was just his last issue. Like,
Man,
what?
Yeah, I said good. I mean, there are no bad issues in Ghost Machine, but number 3, Pastime. It was mostly a setup issue, and just I mean, I appreciated the real baseball history sprinkled in, so I liked it enough to go back for issue 2. Number 2, Hornsby and Halo. This was the most fun issue so far. The guy that they're trying to fight the whole time turns out to be their protector, and he's been disguising himself as basically everybody in their life watching over them. And so I said, this is fun. Number 1, Pop Kill. This is just really fun. This is cool. This is a cool book. But yeah, they already talked a lot about that. But yeah, and I said this. Yep, this
I've got that sitting in my box.
Not smart. But anywho, and I picked up Police Action.
Yep. Bagora.
Fantagraphics, Atlas.
So it's about the Korean War. History joke.
Ooh, Sierra Santos looking good tonight.
Rhaegar, I apologize. I did have War Games. It was behind me this whole freaking time.
But yeah, that's
behind you. Forget about it.
Yeah, this has 8 issues. Very wordy. So yeah, I said, but most books in that era were really cool. I've already read a couple of them. So yeah, that's it. That's my week.
Alrighty. How's the cat?
Just sitting like a lump.
Just turn the camera to the lump, and then we'll go back. We need a lump cam. That's what we need.
Lump cam.
So
the lump of the day photo.
You'll have to do without.
Alrighty then, guys. That's pretty much it for the week. You know, I've not watched Daredevil yet, or the new episode.
Oh, you haven't seen the 2 Bosches yet?
Nope.
When are you going to watch that?
Daredevil
Tonight. After this, probably, or unless I go, because there is no cover ranking tonight. So
no.
Daredevil was pretty good. I enjoyed Daredevil.
So you'll know what my message meant after you.
I know you're like a single little F-bomb there. I'm like, at first I had no idea what you're talking about, Bosch. I was like, did you lose power too?
No. I figured if you'd seen the episode, you'd know exactly why I did that.
Yeah.
Now,
and when you watch the episode, you'll know exactly why I did that.
I haven't been keeping up on the Bosch, but one thing that gets me about this whole Daredevil thing is, he doesn't shave, so he's got this, continual 5 o'clock shadow, and then he goes out as Daredevil with the 5 o'clock shadow, and it looks exactly the same. People should be able to just figure that out.
People should have figured out that Clark Kent wearing a pair of glasses would,
Well, okay, there's Henry Cavill did this one. He actually went out to Times Square, put on a pair of glasses, stood in the middle of Times Square with a Superman shirt on and a pair of glasses. People had no idea who he was.
It's because Henry Cavill's not a huge star yet.
Yeah.
That's true.
Tom Cruise couldn't have gotten away with that.
No.
That's true.
Tom Cruise, if he just stands there, he'd be out of sight, so no one would see him.
I like this, the boob window.
There you go. That's Crystal. That's the best Crystal has ever looked.
I thought it was Patsy Walker at first.
No, there's no Patsy Walker. This is Cosmic Marvel. Golly, they really did not spare any expense with Crystal there.
Who's the understudy for Ed Benezer?
That particular, I don't know. This is a collection of a bunch of miniseries. So, I mean, it could have been
like modern Marvel or like.
No, this is 2005, 2006, just around that era. So probably it could be Paul Pelletier. It could be Wellington Alves. It could be Graham Nolan, Kevin Sharp. I mean, there's just a bunch of people that are involved with this.
So for those of you that like history, the last 3 games the Reds have played, their pitching has given up 3 runs total, and they're 0-3. So by 3 straight 1-0s. Hasn't happened since 1960.
Zach, go over and watch on Twitch so I can get affiliate. Turn your phone on.
In fact, one of the 6 teams that did that were called the Super Boss. Yes, there was a major league team called the Super Boss.
The Super Bosch?
Super Boss.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
the only
game right there.
the only good thing about baseball today is Sierra Santos's dress on quick pitch.
Oh, I was like,
absolutely sucks.
I'm like, did one of them transition into a girl?
Everybody that took a bat up to the plate for the Reds might as well, except for girls can hit.
Turn the Reds into a softball team. That's what they should do.
Well, I said the Reds scored 11. The Reds scored 14 runs on Monday. Haven't scored a run since.
Nice.
I mean, this season's already over because there's unless they go out and make moves, and they're never inclined to do that.
Right.
Get the Yankee bats.
How my Rangers doing so far? They're doing.
I heard that they won.
That's who did the first.
Yesterday.
That's who did the first 2 1-0 on the Reds.
Yep.
Yeah, I see that.
Ooh,
Just so everybody keeping everybody's family, the Brewers did it tonight. So yeah, at least you guys, you don't even care.
We play the Rays tomorrow and Saturday.
I didn't realize that you.
Me as in me. I'm talking. I like the Rangers. I've liked the Rangers.
And if there was a team in Alaska, they'd beat the Reds 1-0.
and I wouldn't follow them either because I'm not a big baseball fan. We just have some like minor league stuff like the Glacier Pilots and stuff.
I was about to say, does Alaska have baseball teams?
Yes, it's just interstate.
It's what they call it ice ball up there.
Y'all's diamonds get frozen over.
There's a big thing.
It's very easy to slide into home.
Every summer they have this thing on the 21st of June. They have the Midnight Classic, and the big tournament and stuff. But
Zach,
we can have baseball up until
did you see that they had
midnight 1 o'clock in the morning here and not have light?
My shop has had one of those.
Yeah.
And I can never remember if I have one or not.
Yeah. So
I think I do.
The back.
No, I don't. I have a Secret Wars one.
Yeah,
it's the thing. Yeah.
Oh, that's on the other side of that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't like that at all.
There's that. There's a new Spider-Man.
There's a reason why I always have this part facing out.
Yeah, they should have done another Kirby thing on the other side.
There's one with the Fantastic Four versus Galactus that I keep seeing.
Oh yeah, that's outside.
I don't know. I mean, I do because Marvel just doesn't make any intelligent decisions anymore, other than their reprint line.
What's going on, Alan?
Oh,
why? I think they're just leaving money on the table. When you see what kind of the Marvel when you see merchandise from Marvel, if it's not done, with the exception of Spider-Man being the ultimate Spider-Man for a while, everything is Silver Age and Bronze Age. I think if they did a series of those kind of boxes, that would be a license to print money.
Yeah,
because that might get some people that won't touch their comics with a 10-foot pole,
right?
Yeah, because those are cool. I mean, if the other side of that were another Kirby thing, I would get that.
Yeah, I've got one or two. Like I've got the only DC one. Well, no, I have 2 DC boxes. One's like a Silver Age Justice League of America. The other's a DC Bombshell one.
I've got a Batman. I think they were with Lee on it, and then I got a Hulk one.
Yeah, they have a
short boxes.
They had a Moon Knight one that I saw a while back.
That's one.
They've got a Spider-Man one for the new Amazing Spider-Man #1.
Here.
Yeah. There's Fantastic Four versus Galactus. There's that thing. I think there's a Red Hulk one.
There's a new
fighting the thing.
Yeah.
My shop's there's a Rogue in the Savage Land box. I've seen that one several times.
There's Deadpool was the original one. They had that. Then they had the Alex Ross book. And then I also have some of the older ones I got was I believe it was another Alex Ross, but it was World's Finest.
Yeah. I've got like a Daredevil, like when they were doing the Shadowland story. I got a short box for Daredevil. I've got one with the Ultimates. I've got one with the original Secret Wars. And then I've got a Bendis Guardians of the Galaxy one. I've got a lot more Marvel than DC.
Brain, you seeing this?
Oh no.
Yeah. Says where one because I got drawn. I look for comic art videos on YouTube. I found a video by a guy named Ken Landgraf, who said he was Gil Kane's assistant at Marvel in the 1970s. He sold me photocopies of Gil Kane's cover layouts from 1970s. I think they were awesome. I was very happy that I bought them. That's cool, man.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool.
There she is.
The cat.
She's decided that this is. She's decided this is her time for attention.
Damn, that's a big cat.
We call to help provide for Lumpy. Please donate to the channel.
And looks like she's already over it.
Just like a cat.
She's well, there's she likes I found her eating paper earlier.
Oh yeah, my girlfriend's cat will eat plastic wrappers. You gotta watch
she licks the comic bags.
That's funny.
It's Lumpy.
Yep, she's about ready to jump, aren't you?
Don't jump. Don't jump. It's not worth it.
Yeah, I left a comfortable. It should have sleep for hours.
No, she's gone. She ended it.
She'll sleep for hours and decide that she wants like a minute of attention, and then you of course have to drop everything to give it to her, and then she goes, I'm done.
Yep.
If you want to jump, it's a Mel Gibson and Lethal Weapon, and
that's how they do it.
You're dismissed.
That's how cats roll.
Actually, she's a lot friendlier than most cats. I mean, she's actually come a couple times when I've called her.
Oh, okay.
And she'll
what do you call her? Lumpy? Here, Lumpy.
She'll go upstairs now, and when I sometimes before I even go to bed, she'll jump up on the bed, and she's usually lumping it up on the other end of it when I wake up.
It's this little fat little lump that's laying there, and it's like you see it.
That's right.
Does she purr really loud?
No.
Oh, you're lucky because I had a cat that did that. I was just like, you hear this in the room. It's like, do you mind? Can you sleep a little bit later?
Very. Well, I think part of it is I said she's very, very shy. That's how I ended up with her because nobody that had cats, she won't like assimilate with the other ones.
She's spoiled. She just wants all attention.
No, God no. She survived a year of living in a house by herself.
Oh, jeez.
And so you can imagine how. I mean, that would just how. That'd be awful. I mean, that's so. I think she's.
You know what that means? She chose you.
But she's very grateful, I think, to have another
person. Yeah.
Well, creature around. I mean, that's
Yeah,
I've lived in my place
and
for over
it's not
a decade
another animal, so. But yeah, she's yeah, she's pretty cool. Like I said, it's.
Eric's heart grew 3 sizes that day. It's different when you don't have animals and you're like, I really don't want to get animals. But as soon as you get one, it's like, I've always been a cat lover. Something of a cat lover myself.
Well, I mean, if I figure this way. Like I said, I saved her from the pound.
Yeah.
And, obviously if I'd never met her, I wouldn't know what I was missing, but I'm glad I was able to, save the cat's life. And I don't know. I said
now you got to do cat videos.
No, don't have to do those. But
combine that with your comic book knowledge, you'd be unstoppable.
And it's not like you you have to give them constant attention. As I said, like dogs are very high maintenance, and it takes about.
It's like Pixel. Give him a Baja Blast, and he's content.
It takes about 2 minutes total. I mean, if there's if the bowl gets close to empty, you throw another handful of food in there, and clean out the litter box.
That's
it.
A day,
and that's it.
That's what I like about them. Dogs, you have to. when I know when I had a dog, I had to come home from work, and then it's a whole other job almost to take care of it.
Yeah, we did I think the most we did was like 1 cup a day because that's what the veterinarian recommended. Our cat was like 10 pounds. How big is that cat? Was it weighed at all?
Oh, I bet I'd be probably about 10. That sounds about right.
Yeah, because that's the average healthy for cats that they're in that size age. So cool. I expect more photos. We need Eric with the cat here, Eric with the cat there.
No,
Eric with the cat at the comic book store. The cat's driving. Oh no! It's like Toons.
I'm embarrassed that I got that.
Oh, well, he's got his license. We'll let him drive. Every time. Then you have the other cats chasing him.
I mean, you used to show bird videos too, so
I did.
You're the Tweety to his Sylvester.
Yep. RDV with his cat knowledge. Thank you, Celeste. All right, though. We'll take Eric off a full screen before he starts saying, "Enough with this. I'm too old for it."
That's my line.
I mean, we could put Zach on full screen. But
why would you threaten me? Why would you threaten me? Why did you choose violence?
I choose violence. I don't choose violence. I choose ratings, damn it. I didn't. Now, 17 people are watching this nonsense. I don't understand it. It's like they left their phone on and like, oh, wait, where's my phone?
What happened? Oh,
yeah, right.
What's going on?
They're very loyal. This is the most. Honestly, this is the most I've ever seen Imperial Goddess in the chat. Zach's on camera. She's here instantly.
So, eat, poop, lick, sleep. That's it. I've just described an entire cat's existence.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
Must be nice to be a cat.
It's great to be a cat.
Rhaegar, we don't know how you got here. Hey, I hear everybody wants to be a cat.
Everybody wants to be a cat.
That song was a bop, too. Man, I used to watch the Aristocats when I was a kid. That song was a bop. That slapped. Ugh. That was a great song.
Is there a share link on Twitch for mobile stuff?
I don't know.
Yeah, there is.
I'm not smart enough about Twitch to know stuff like that.
I found it out.
Hey, did anybody see that clip of Superman that some people are complaining about because they don't know how dogs work?
Check out Imperial Goddess over on Twitch. She plays a lot of cool games, Give her some support. Give her some love. She's very loyal. She's helped out with me helping you build up my Twitch stuff over followers and also on here too as well. And also
good. You guys all saw the Naked Gun trailer, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm not even a Naked Gun fan, but that trailer made me laugh.
With Liam Neeson, yeah.
Why am I not surprised that you're not a Naked Gun fan? Do you just wake up in the morning and instead of spraying Axe body spray, you spray cool repellent?
I don't spray anything because I'm not 12 years old. I use a deodorant stick.
And it's called
other men.
It's called.
I know Leslie Nielsen from Airplane and Mr. Magoo. Those are the two things I know.
His two best things were Airplane and Naked Gun.
Airplane is why they did Naked Gun. It was Police Squad was a summer replacement series in 1982.
Yes.
It was not successful at all, but it got 3 movies.
But, I think I just made the whole chat do that clip where they all face palm.
But
okay, the OJ joke in this though made me laugh though.
The OJ joke was hilarious.
Where I was going with that was, do you see? Did anybody think for a second that it was just another AI made trailer? Because I had no idea it was coming until I saw the actual movie logo. Because you see all where they'll say Power Girl 2025 Sydney Sweeney, and they have her
Oh yeah, I know.
Because I had no idea this movie was coming.
I know either.
I did. I looked it up earlier on IMDb and I saw it. I was like, really? And
before I saw the trailer, I had no idea they were making one. So.
No, I'm saying before the trailer, I was talking to Rob about this.
Are you talking the Naked Gun or the Superman?
The Naked Run reboot.
So what happens is what he's talking about is if you go through social media, you'll come across these images that are usually AI generated.
Oh, I've seen those.
An actress in costume as another person. Like Sydney Sweeney's the big one because
A lot of them are
or they'll take scenes from other movies and splice them in and maybe,
You know what's crazy?
I knew about the new Naked Gun movie, which I don't know if I want to see because you're not going to be able to touch the originals. But there is a new Superman thing where they have that rescue scene
4
of the
minutes,
dog.
yeah.
The dog, man, Crypto.
Crypto, come here, and they're like, the dog's just killing him. I'm like, thanks, dog.
If anybody, I've had this happen. Where if you have a dog and you come home and you're deadbeat tired from whatever you've been doing, that dog does not know. All that dog wants to do is play. And so when I saw the clip, I'm like, oh, Crypto just wants to play. But that wasn't even the coolest part. The coolest part was the freaking Superman robots, I thought. The robots were cool. I didn't think they would do that because, honestly, when you see that outside of maybe
I don't have a personality.
We're not programmed. Except for that one, what was it, number 12? He looked at me.
Well,
that's supposed to be a reference to the original one, I think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, someone in one of the comments said they referenced the Reeves version or something like that.
I mean, that whole scene, too, you could hear the John Williams music in the background, too. So I think there's going to be a lot of original Superman love in this one.
Nice.
It looks like to me, just from what I'm seeing.
Honorable over on Twitch says he has a really awesome Superman statue in his collection. Like the DC Gallery ones, like they're really expensive, like $200 ones, or is this like some of the newer ones are like $50-$60?
Those DC Direct ones were nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jackson. It's right here. It's off screen. It's sorry. I have it angled. I'm a little further away from my microphone. Sorry, Jackson.
Jackson's complaining about not hearing you? Really?
Yeah, I know, right? Nobody complains about that. Usually I'm too loud.
Well, usually you hear other people in your microphone. That's how loud your speakers are.
Yeah. Undead Quinn says he finished Gotham by Gaslight, the Kryptonian Age, and said it was a solid read.
Told you. Liked it. What's up, Undead Quinn?
Yeah,
the McFarlane brand statue. Okay, cool.
All the McFarlane stuff is nice.
Dude, McFarlane's been a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, I know he does comics and he's got like the Spawn verse and everything, but I mean, dude could make bank just doing his figures.
Oh, yeah. Undead Quinn, yeah, that's the next one coming out. They're going to have JLA or like Justice League Gotham by Gaslight. They're leading into that.
That's pretty cool.
I know, right? Dude, I like Elseworld stories when they have team ups like that, but there's like it's been kind of like they introduce you everybody in this one. You get Alan Scott, the original Green Lantern. We have John Constantine. We just saw Cyborg was made by Lex Luthor.
Did it have Flash? You have Alan Scott. Did it have Jay Garrick?
I didn't remember him seeing in there. Breen, I think Breen's on mute. I'll be right back.
Oh,
I don't remember. I
remember there was a mini series where the Justice League, but it was like an Old West Justice League. I think it had Wally.
Sure, yeah. And well, this is like this Superman is Clark Kent. He is like the sheriff.
Yeah.
Of the town of Smallville. So
right. I remember that. Yeah.
So I don't know how well that's connected to some of the other stories with him being, Western.
Yeah.
But looks pretty cool. Whoa, Marnie's saying that McFarlane has lost a DC license after 2026.
Did he really?
I heard that he's not doing this stuff anymore, but I just saw a headline. I didn't do.
I don't know if it's because he chose not to or they're going in a different direction.
Interesting.
Is there a trade of the Kryptonian Age or yet? I think they just came out. This week it did come out. So it should be on in stock trades.
Oh, yeah. Mattel won the rights to make DC action figures and toys. This was reported back in February, the end of February.
So what's Mattel going to charge? $5?
I don't know. They clearly came in with a better deal than McFarlane had. I mean, Mattel's also pretty big.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. I'm just reminding you. Flash was trapped in a Luthor tower as a power source.
Which Flash was it? Did it say?
Probably
Jerry, Barry, Wally, Max Mercury. I don't know. Mattel lost the global licensing rights 6 years ago to. So Mattel used to have the original rights for DC but then they lost them 6 years ago to McFarlane, and now they're coming back to make DC toys again.
If sales are bad for McFarlane, it's not McFarlane. It's the fact that nobody can spend $20 on a action figure.
Yeah, McFarlane's stuff is pretty pricey,
but it's worth it.
That is true.
I think Mattel is just sitting there going, "Oh, he took it from us. We're gonna get it back from him."
Yeah.
You know what Mattel's was? Arms go like this. They stretch out. They don't bend. It's like, yeah. Mattel should just stick to just doing Hot Wheels.
I mean, they did a bunch of money with toys and action figures.
Yeah. If you need a bounce because your knee's killing you, go ahead.
He shouldn't bounce if his knee's killing. That's going to make it worse. Don't bounce.
Yeah. Just do
a kink in my lower back, but I'll just. It sounds like we're about ready to wrap up.
Which kink? The lead singer or the brother?
Oh,
the foot fetish.
Oh. All right. We took a dark turn here. Speaking of DC.
I mean, they do a lot of stuff too, not just DC. I mean, they do Mortal Kombat, they do Doom, Dune, The Walking Dead, Demon Slayer. I mean, who aren't they licensed with?
Yeah, Power Girl. Dave Jackson right there. Barbie, Power Girl.
Barbie, Power Girl. Wait, Margot Robbie is Power Girl?
No, because Mattel won. Mattel does Barbie, so everything's gonna be like Barbie dolls.
It is sad because that means there's not going to be any more of the superpowers figures. Well, actually, those things are pretty cool. I think they have a pre-order up for a Jay Garrick one right now. I think I'm gonna get.
Here's the thing with until the economy gets better, nobody's gonna be buying anything really much.
And also, if you look at the Barbie, the proportions of the Barbies, if they were real, they'd all look like Power Girl anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Because
the Superpowers action figures are only $10. They're the little 4.5-inch ones. They're not very expensive.
You expect to pay around $20, $30 for a standard figure A in McFarlane toys.
Yeah.
But here's the difference: the way the quality toys we get from McFarlane are way different from the ones I was getting in the '90s growing up as a kid.
Sure.
So. The legs, the knees didn't bend. If he did, it was like very rare that you got one. That was a Spider-Man one, I remember. But the Batman toys, the legs were like in the splints. They did not bend at the knee at all, and neither did the arms. So it was funny. Those early Michael Keaton Batman toys, the Batman Forever, the arms and legs really did not bend. They just held stuff. Oh, look, it can hold onto a batarang. It was so dumb.
I those. I remember when I was a kid, that's what a lot of the action figures were like. They may be bent at the elbows, but a lot of the time
the McFarlane toys, dude, they give you alternate heads to put on there on the body and alternate hands and stuff.
So do they have full articulation in the McFarlane toy?
Yeah.
I don't know if I like
that's why they're worth it much. And plus, they include they're always Build-A-Figures. So you're always, if you get all the set, you can build a figure.
Yes, the action figures weren't like that when I was a kid. They were a lot simpler.
Yeah. Hasbro is going to the $25 to $30 more model for prices on their standard figures. Yeah, so it's like nothing's changing. It's just that you might just get lower quality. Who knows?
Maybe.
Really look at McFarlane toys because a lot of them are affordable, but they're also very detailed. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why people like them. They just recently had was it last year? They had the Batmobile, or was it the Batwing from the Flash movie? It might have been
It might have been the Batmobile. It might have been the Batmobile.
Flash.
Yeah, I don't care about the Flash movie, but I'm like, dude, Batmobile, I like it no matter what it's in. I love that stuff, like the Batwing. So, yeah, I guess. But anyway, it looks like Henry's taking off. Have a good night, Henry.
Night, Henry.
McFarlane might still have the DC Direct, so they could still make superpowers.
Nice. Oh, okay. That could still work then.
Yeah. I just hate the fact that the Power Ranger toys I grew up with when they were like $7 are now $20 to $30. And you know what it is? The same toy I had as a kid. The head flips. You push a button and it quick change goes from the normal head to the helmet on their chest. I'm like, why are you paying twice as much for a figurine that only cost half of that back when I was a kid? That's ridiculous. I saw that and I was like, oh. And then you look at they re-released I think it's probably through Hasbro. I think they're the ones that has the Marvel stuff. I'm not sure what it was, but they were releasing the original toys from the Spider-Man cartoons, and like same thing. The prices are jacked up on these things. I don't know. It's to the point where it's like I like the fact that there's toys from my childhood being re-put out in boxes. Are they worth anything now? Probably not. But because the fact that once they go out of print, though, even though they're not the original ones, they will be worth stuff. And plus, HasLab has been coming out with a lot of cool stuff. If you're a Power Rangers, or not Power Rangers, but a Ghostbusters fan, all the Neutron ones and the movie stuff, all the props they've been doing. And I guess Ollie's was selling those, which were originally $100 for like the Egon Spangler's Neutron one, is now like $50 there. Some Ollie's.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like Hasbro Lab does have some cool stuff. I'm not gonna knock them, but I'm looking this way. Do I want to spend $30 on gas, or do I want to spend $30 on a toy? Zach's like, I need another Star Wars ship.
No, first of all, the Star Wars ship here was a Christmas gift. I don't go buy these. I'm gifted these.
And that's probably $200.
That's probably. You're probably not wrong. My brother goes ham for these Lego sets, these like detailed ones.
Tell your brother I need something for Christmas too. I'll give you a list to get to him.
I can neither confirm nor deny. I might have asked him to keep an eye out for a Lego set.
You want the Death Star?
No. There's a new Hobbit hole, a new bag end Lego set that just came out a week ago. Dude. It's like a detailed Hobbit hole with all the hobbits and the firework that looks like a dragon.
There's only really one thing I would get from HasLabs, and I don't know if they use it available anymore, but I get the Unicron one they had. Actually,
that would be too much. No, that's too much.
Do you see how big that was? They had it a couple years ago. It was just like
way too much. I have a very, very small place like that. There's nowhere to put that.
It's probably the size of all those JSA covers around you.
Hey, Zach, I don't think he cares if they're new or old.
No. Anyway, though, guess you'll need a cartwheel of cash soon. Thanks for shrinking buying power. Or thanks to shrinking. Amazon.
Rhaegar, that's right. She is a tank. You're right. I keep forgetting that.
Amazon has good sales on McFarlane too. If you keep an eye out, they are sporadic, but usually very deeply discounted. I was looking. Honestly, I've never found anything on Amazon cheaper as far as comic book wise or stuff than in stock trades, or even sometimes even the eBay. So, like Amazon, when I was getting the Man of Steel, the collections by hardcovers by John Byrne. They wanted twice as much of what the book's actually worth compared to where you go to eBay. You're getting a book that's so brand new for half the price, or even in stock trades. It was like, dude, I was like, why would I go anywhere outside of in stock trades if they don't have it?
And in stock trades packs the things just fantastically, and Amazon doesn't give a fun frill.
There is like a United States postal shipping. They alert on the in stock trades actual website. So. I'm not sure what's out about, but I do know that with the Doge going in, looking into the USPS, there might be some delays. But hey, I got some stuff on Amazon the other day, and which normally would have been like I got one of those giant kettles, pans, and stainless steel ones because my other one is flaking off. The Ninja one, get that, the Ninja one. It's supposed to be great. Remember the Ninja stuff? I'm like, oh, we love the Ninja blender and stuff. I got the Ninja cooking one. It has a little strainer.
Yeah,
it's supposed to it's the inside, the black part is peeling off.
Okay, guys, I gotta get out of this chair. I gotta get some.
Yep. Have a good night then.
Stuff on my back and my leg. So, see you in a little bit, guys.
Yep. Later.
See ya.
Bye.
How many times will he say, "I want to be ninja"? Yes, I want to chop, ninja chop. Yeah, but Amazon. Anyway, my point is, I got that little kettle flame frying pan thing.
Yeah.
For like $80. Normally it was $100 if I went to Macy's or any other places. I was shocked that Amazon had it like for $20 cheaper. But Three Ninjas, good or bad movie, Rhaegar? Since you're bringing it up. What about Surf Ninjas? We like that.
Surfing Ninjas. That sounds like a movie.
90s, man. Good, he says. Three Ninjas is good. Instock Trade suggests going with FedEx for the foreseeable future. Honestly, yeah, I've never had a problem with FedEx, or
I never had an issue with FedEx.
the problem I have is
I
with
rarely have an issue with Amazon. Amazon's normally
so shipping wise stuff, getting stuff on time and stuff. It's usually the United States Postal Service. Sometimes I have problems with that.
yeah.
So I actually go through UPS.
UPS, I get a good amount of stuff from them. The stuff I get shipped through the postal service, the only comics I've ever gotten through them are usually it's from like Ease Auctions. I don't get a lot of stuff through the regular post office.
Ooh, Slushy Ninja Machine, dude. So he likes it. So some summer star does that. Dude, I haven't made slushies in a long time. I can't remember the last time I had one of those. But it depends on the seller. I got my Wonder Woman hella protected. Yeah, and he said like a lot of. I guess it depends on where it's shipping to and stuff. You're in Alaska. By the time it gets to you, it's probably like a rough trip. I mean, I don't know what's the closest warehouse to you in Alaska is. Off of Amazon. And if it's coming from like Oklahoma and it's gonna have to stop over at the things, it's most likely it can happen, but shouldn't though. But sucks though. I mean, you had it, and then so did Joe, Geek Show Joe. Well, wait, I'm talking to a guy who's not here anymore. I just realized that. I'm like, who am I talking to? Like, yeah, but Geekeasy and Geek Show Joe both we're living in Alaska, so it's like I don't know what the problem is as far as why they're getting such bad service. But he said they did not like dealing with that and having to return stuff. That's the one thing I said is like, what if I order something off of there and I have to return it? Like, where do I return? Do I have to put it in the box itself and then like send it back in the mail, or like to call somebody and I deal with that on the phone bullshit? But apparently the Kohl's up here by me, you can return stuff through them for Amazon. We'll select things like I'm not sure if it's everything or it's just select clothing, but UPS I like because like I used to send stuff to Skip. I was like, you're just gonna wait, cool. Don't have to worry about any other prepaid box of bullshit. It was way cheaper. It was like and then going to the postal service.
Yeah.
Anyway, pouring out for our brother, our late brother Skip and Tosh. Good dude. Gone too soon. 37 years old, man.
God, I turned that in 2 months too.
He was like it was 2 years ago. It
Yep.
wasn't last year. It was 2 years ago. I
Year
think.
before, yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. That being said, hope you guys had fun. We're gonna end it right around here.
Hope you had fun as we talked about our deceased friend.
No, the whole entire show, bro.
I know. I'm just trying to.
And if they don't have fun us talking about Skip, screw them. Skip's better than them.
That's actually accurate, probably.
No, I like doing this, having this. And I just got to give a shout out to people. We have like 16 people watching, 17, 18. That is just really cool to see. I never really expect. I expect maybe like 7 people the most watching, and I'm one of them. And so is
You're one, Raybar is one, Marania is one. Yeah. So that leaves four randoms.
So it is. The thing is that it actually is because we're broadcasting to Twitch and YouTube, so Streamer combines the numbers. So it inflates it, makes it look like, oh, we have this many, but it's actually divided. So right now there's 4 people watching over on Twitch.
I'm one of those.
So, so it means we have about 12 watching on YouTube. But YouTube is our main stay. You can find it over at Geeky Puppet Show. That's the link for both the Twitter, or not Twitter, but Twitch and YouTube. You can check that out. And if you want to support us, help us out, you can go to ko-fi.com/puppeteen and drop $1 in the till. Help us keep the lights on, pay for the StreamYard, and also helps for paying us for the books that we used to read on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays on the channel here. But that being said, we'll see you guys tomorrow night around 8 p.m. Yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern for 2 more comic books we're gonna read.
2 more comics.
Until then, for those of you who are watching over on Twitch, check out Honorable D-Bag. Good guy. He's good. A good streamer. He's been. I hung out with him last night. Went on chat with him. I don't know why he let me on, but he did. But we're hanging out, and yeah, he plays a lot of old school classic stuff. Very nice guy, and he's just starting out. And if you want to support him, go ahead and check it out there. It's the Honorable D-Bag. It's all one word. Check it out on Twitch. You can also check out Imperial Goddess, which I did post in here earlier. Her and her fiance Aries are both Twitch streamers, and they're really nice people. So, with that being said, we'll see you guys tomorrow night, and stay safe and avoid tornadoes.
Classy. Stay classy, San Diego. Hey, I got a chuckle out.
Is there anyone here from San Diego? If not,
I was quoting Anchorman.
I know you were, but I just the people in San Diego were like, "Yeah, get out of San Diego, run!" Too close to San Francisco.
No, I don't think it actually is.
It might be. Who knows?
It's at least 2 to 3 hours from Los Angeles. And I know San
I'm
Francisco's
rambling.
north of them.
I'm hoping that Breen brings the cat back on and be like, "Oh, it's a kitty cat."
Nope.
All right. Good night, guys.
Good night, kids.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, Gracie.
Good night, John Boy.
Good night, Moon. Good night, Miss Piggy.